So I thought I'd talk about who is next. And what I mean by who is next is who is the next person to run for president who's a progressive in 2024 when Joe Biden inevitably loses in the general election. Now, Bernie Sanders has a chance to win, but it's very small. It would require something very catastrophic. He is now in an extreme deficit of 300 plus delegates, and he's not doing well in most of the states left. So unless something drastic happens, like Joe Biden has an aneurysm or a stroke or something really crazy like that, he's kind of out right now, unfortunately, and it's very sad. But after you've lost twice, you really can't run a third time. You can't really do that. And so we kind of have to look, and he's getting old, obviously. So we kind of have to look at who the next person is. Now, in terms of strategy, I think the best thing to do is we need to keep, and I'm hoping we can pick up some more House seats this election cycle, because we need to just keep picking off House seats is what we need to do. The more House seats we get, the more power we get in government, the more representation we have in the media. So we already have, AOC, Khanna, Pramila, Rashida, and Ilhan. We're about to pick up Marie Newman's seat. We could have picked up Jessica Cisneros' seat if AOC and Bernie had gone down there to campaign. AOC should have spent like half of her time campaigning for Jessica. And then Bernie should have gone out at least once. He probably only had time for one, but he could have made time for a potential House seat. She came really close. Bernie Sanders doing that would have been a complete game changer. Same thing with AOC. So big mistake on AOC and Bernie's part. We could have had Jessica Cisneros win. Would have been this massive win. And we're like, oh man, we picked up Marie Newman. She still has to run in the general, which we got to make sure she picks up the general election there. But I'm hoping we can pick up 2 or 3 more seats because there's still a lot of states left. So hopefully we can pick up a couple of seats here. That's the hope. That should be the strategy. And then we just kind of gear up for another fight in 2024 because Biden's inevitably going to lose to Trump in 2020. We're going to get 4 more years of Donald Trump. And then, you just, make it through that. And then you have to, hopefully that corporate narrative will be dead. And so we can go a different route as a party, hopefully. And so the question is, who's next? Well, the people I can think of that are options, people I can think of are Rashida, okay, AOC, Nina Turner, Khanna, and another person a lot of people would float is Ilhan Omar. Problem is, Ilhan Omar cannot be president of the United States. She was not born in the United States, and her mom was not a citizen at the time of her birth. That's how Ted Cruz was able to run for president, even though dude was born in Canada. His mom was a citizen. But Ilhan Omar, not born here, so she can't run. Same thing for Pramila Jayapal, by the way. So if you're going to say Pramila, she can't either. Not born in the United States. Not constitutional or legal for her to be president of the United States. So let's start out with Nina Turner. Now, Nina Turner is a great organizer and a great speaker. I don't think, I really do not believe that she has enough governmental experience to be president of the United States. She's only been a state senator, so I think the requirement for me is, at least got to be in federal government, at least a House seat somewhere, have really at least know stuff about the inner workings of government and have some experience in that field, which Nina Turner doesn't have because she was only a state senator. So that automatically KOs Nina Turner. Now, if she goes into politics, picks up a House seat, serves for 4 to 6 years, well, then she's in the running, right? As of right now, no. I definitely cannot in good conscience vote for somebody who has virtually no government experience for president of the United States. She's a great organizer, though, and that's, kind of her role, would have been a role as VP. But being president is a whole other beast. So it kind of knocks out Nina Turner for me. AOC, she's barely going to make, I don't even know if she'd make the filing for 2024. She'd barely be old enough. I don't know how all that would work out. But with AOC, the concerns that I have are, basically what we need is we need a candidate who doesn't have to win the South. If they win the South, then we're really in the running here. But we need someone who can perform well in the South. The South has rejected Bernie Sanders pretty soundly, and so that has really lost us the election both times here. So we need to figure out a way to jump over that hurdle and figure out a candidate that can do that. Now, AOC may be able to do better with POC of certain groups, I definitely question how well she could do with rural white voters and the white vote in general. I don't know how white people are going to feel about, like a strong Latina woman. I just don't really see it panning out, to be honest with you, especially with the heavy, solidarity and campaigning she does with Spanish and stuff like that. I don't really think, your union workers and stuff like that are gonna be really down with that. I think they're not gonna really be down with that. So I have a question about her outreach there, and then also wonder, is she gonna be able to pull the black vote in the South, which is crucial. The black vote is crucial, obviously, basically determines elections at this point. So I'm not sure, considering her age, she's barely going to make the cut. And then it's a little bit tough for me to see AOC being the person. If anything, I think Chuck Schumer's up for re-election in 2022. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's 2022. I guess if anything for her, maybe the better decision is just to run against Chuck Schumer to try to take down his Senate seat. That would be huge. I mean, getting a Senate seat as a progressive, that'd be massive. That'd be really crazy. And then serve out the Senate and then run like 6 years, 8 years down the line or something like that. Now, that's a real plan. But that race against Chuck Schumer would be absolutely insane. And then we move over to Rashida. I don't know if Rashida would be palatable either because, the media would smear her as just an anti-Sem the whole time. And so that's a tough thing that I see. I don't really see that being an effective candidacy, to be honest. Just for that reason solely, we've seen what happened with Ilhan Omar. I mean, the media truly is just relentless and ruthless when it comes to, the whole Israeli-Palestine stuff. So I don't really see that panning out very well. Although she is a fighter, she is a bulldog. She gives no shits, which is awesome. She has no chill. So that's what makes Rashida really awesome, obviously. Then we have Khanna. Now, Khanna is born in the United States, so he can run for president of the United States. And he meets the age requirement. So, to me, honestly, when I sift through the options that we have for 2024, I'm starting to think that Khanna might be the best of options. Now, if there's some people I'm missing, definitely let me know. And the thing is, Khanna's not perfect. He's had some questionable votes, like his vote on the anti-BDS bill. Another little iffy thing about Khanna is I remember he actually endorsed. A lot of you guys may not remember this. May not have even been around. He actually endorsed Joe Crowley before he endorsed AOC. He first endorsed Joe Crowley. There was massive backlash for obvious reasons, like obviously the JDAMs are all behind Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the progressive, and then you're coming out and endorsing the dude who's like third in line for speakership, the ultimate corporate sellout. It's like, what are you doing, bro? How on earth is that even fathomable? How could you do that, right? And so then he came out he's like, I'm going to endorse both of them. So that was not a good look. I was like, what are you doing, bro? And he does have some questionable stuff as well. I've seen him flip-flop on certain issues in weird ways. I don't understand that. But Khanna, one thing about Khanna is he's got experience in government. We've seen him get things done. Remember the Stop Bezos Act? That, went in by it being co-led, right? Khanna in the House, Bernie in the Senate. He's worked with Bernie Sanders, you know what I mean? Like, he's a federal legislator. He's actually really good at making policy arguments as well. We've seen him go on Fox News and sort of demolish the hosts and just make coherent sense with his points. And so he knows what he's talking about. He's very policy-oriented, and he's a smart guy when it comes to actual policy positions. And that's, I think, kind of where his strength lies, is the ability to succinctly explain political positions and policies. And so, if you follow his Twitter account, whatever, he'll tweet out stuff like that you'll see, as well as what he talks about in the legislation that he tries to pass and push. So Khanna might be the best option that I can see out of those. If you disagree with me, let me know why. I'm very curious to hear it. And then if I'm missing anybody whose options, let me know. But Khanna, as of right now, seems like the best option out of those, out of the batch that we really have right now. AOC, I think, is a candidate for 8 to 12 years down the line from now, when she's had more experience. Not so much the experience part, honestly. It's more, I think, demographics and age demographics especially will change. A lot of the older folks will die off of natural causes by then. And so I think that'll boost her. We'll be in sort of a different world at that point, 15, 8, 12, 14 years down the line. That's really the more important piece, and then we'll kind of go down from there. So I think she's more of a future person, and the others I don't see being able to pan out right now. Nina Turner, if Nina goes into office, goes to get a congressional seat or whatever it is she wants to pick up, like a federal House seat would be the best thing. If she wants to go pick up a House seat, get some get some of that experience in government, then she could also make herself a contender pretty quickly. Now she's about 50 right now, so if she goes in, she'd be able to run at like 60 or something like that. So age is a little bit of a concern as well, I guess. But that is what I think. So it looks like to me, just from a cursory glance at things, it looks like Ro Khanna is the person who's probably the best option. Now I have my concerns about Ro. Ro doesn't come off to me as like a Cornel West type of guy, because he's not a Cornel West type of guy. Ro Khanna is not going to come out there screaming at you like a bulldog. He's just not going to do that. So I don't know. Can that win? I'm not really sure. But, you can always have the more fiery guys in the back, I guess. And Bernie Sanders is fiery, but, he holds punches a lot. So maybe not that much different from Ro Khanna. But definitely let me know what your thoughts are. If I missed anybody, let me know. And if you disagree with me, definitely let me know and why that is. But those are the options. And it looks like Ro Khanna is the best for 2024.